Hey, what's going on, everyone? What's going on, everyone? I do apologize about that. This is BMT coming at you again. Definitely doing another live, and definitely we're going to be enjoying this one. This is definitely a good take and controversial one. But by far a lesson that we can actually take into perspective on on morale, legacy, economics, fundamentals. Um, I'm not going to say either side is right or wrong. That's not for me to judge. If you want to do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe. You can also do that. If you would like to donate, that's on you. I'm a little bit far removed from that. I kind of do this more so for that of the hobby, and don't see no other type of way. Hold on, I'm gonna go crack open the brew. I like to have a brew while I'm talking about this. This out here. I know a lot of people want to talk about a whole shenanigan of stuff. I mean, i.e., from things going on, but we need to actually look at this one right here. This is actually a really good one because this happens more times than you think with children as well as their parents. And we have to ask that of the question, especially amongst that of the diaspora, the blacks. Um, is this something in hell? If you're not even black, you can ask this yourself, of your own parents, or the parents, myself included. Can we also challenge this? And that is something of the title that is going on between Little Romeo and his father. I'm gonna make sure I put that up. I gotta get that all squared away for y'all. Grab that and grab the title because I definitely want this brought about and looked into on something that if you don't know the hip hop artist Little Romeo, as well as a highly acclaimed rapper producer, Master P, father and son. They've been in the rap industry for a long time. Romeo was born into that. Started off as Little Romeo, and then you have Master P. He has made a whole plethora of albums, tracks, brought forth a whole lot of artists. And what happens is a lot of things around the time before Little Romeo even came about was that of his father and his group. You know what I'm saying? And when it came to that, I want to show y'all the dynamic of one how black men are taking it, or black people are going about looking at this of how they are taking into account that of what they're talking about, of what they're doing. These are things that happen that we already know. Little Romeo, from what I'm hearing and seeing, he's gone full time into his belief, his faith, and this is no slander to that of anybody's religion. You have the right to believe in what you want to believe in. Um, I was born into a Christian household. I'm not gonna say I'm like the highest pinnacle quoting scriptures and throwing words at people, but Romeo has turned his life around. Romeo has a family of his own. He's a devout Christian, and his father also believes to be a devout Christian also. Now, what we're looking at is the father and the son dynamic conversation is now brought to the forefront. Let me grab the title. But I want to know. I want to help me understand this. Does your child have the right to challenge the legacy of the parent if they find the fault in it? I want to know that. I feel like that's a fair question or statement to ask. If your parent was a dancer, sold drugs, if they were any type of illicit business, not saying that That's something that Master P, we don't know, allegedly, if he was doing that. But does a child have the right? Because we're seeing a lot of children now come out in media speaking against their parents' legacy. See, a lot of children are coming out talking about their parents. Whether however you feel about us, we're the outsiders. We don't know truly what goes on behind that of closed doors. So this is something between the father and son. And everybody has a right to feel what they feel. You're seeing these play out on social media or out there, it might hit the, ear where somebody's, what's going on? What's going on? Thank you for coming through. Where you have it whereas to daughters are calling out their fathers or their mothers about their actions and behaviors. Then the parent and then the kids will be like, well, haven't I always done right by you? Haven't I always raised you, put food on the table, do X, Y, and Z? Can you really critique? Let me make sure I pull that out for you. I got you, bro. Can you really critique when it's put him on? But see, I'm glad you asked that, and that's a good question. Can you really critique what if somebody put him on? I'm gonna tell you honestly, from my perspective of heart, right? Yeah, you can. You can critique. We've seen it done throughout history. In-house fighting of challenging has happened all a lot. Can he really critique his father who put him on? Yes. Yes. You can critique somebody. And nobody is above reproach of being critiqued or judged. I mean, I know we like to think that we're exemplary above the rule of thumb in this, but wholesomely we're not. Hang on, I'm making sure I grab it for y'all. I want to make sure I grab it for y'all. And this is an open dialogue discussion that, we need to ask this amongst our own. If somebody puts you on and you disagree with that of their methods or how they're doing things, can you critique it? You got to understand for that of where we stand as right now, even as blacks, this same scenario played out for the whites. Oh, you didn't know that, did you? And if the white slave master, just showing you, the white slave master had a bountiful business. And the child says, I don't agree how you treat the slave with their property. We're eating good. You get whatever you want. Get all the horses and money, and you can go out. You don't ever have to worry about that. Well, Father, I disagree with the legacy. I disagree how you're treating them. I know y'all said that's a little extreme. Well, what if the father and the mother so dope? We seen the same thing happen with little Scrappy, full-grown man, and his mom. His mom sold drugs, pimped, prostituted, did all types of illegal, illicit things. And then after that, little Scrappy called her out openly. He said, that really messed with me. It really bothered me. Though you funded me, you pushed me into where I am today, I can never take that from you. But it is wrong. And so we have to ask that as a mass, does that of the child, and I got to fix that, have the right to challenge that of the father's legacy? me go back and fix that. I do apologize. But I really want to know. I really want to know that of your standpoint. We have it where the children of America, they call out their forefathers' legacy. I'm not saying I'm taking that of Romeo's side. I'm not saying I'm taking Romeo's side, but I am bringing that a perspective that it's not unheard of. It's not unheard of that of a person challenging that of the legacy of their parent, of their upbringing. It's been done for years, decades, even before we were that of an inkling of a thought. And we have to ask that question. What's going on, James? Constructive criticism is necessary. I agree. As a people, we do this with our civil rights leaders. We do. Boys will always challenge their father's authority, so will girls. I want to look at that of the article of what of the man has said. Now, in saying this is from one man's perspective. We haven't heard that of Master P's perspective. We haven't heard what he has to say. But I can also say that I cannot overlook that Master P has put his son and family into a better predicament of a lifestyle. I myself have done it for mine. I look at that as a father on the sacrifices that I made to put my children in a predicament that they are in today. And I understand that at some point too, my children may one day step towards me and challenge things that I have done and question them and ask questions. And it may get messy. It may hurt. And I would say to them, who are you? By what authority? For the cars, the food, the clothing, warm heat, being able to never question where money comes from. You just reach out your hand and or touch your card and just swipe it and never question how did it get there. When you go and order steak on your birthday, when you go wonder that, hey, all me and my friends, the whole paintball field to ourselves, and there's nobody else on here. Man, my son said, Dad, you don't spend enough time with us. All you do is go out there. You spend more time out there in the streets than you do with us. And I said, well, son, let us switch positions. Where I sit back and I get to fold my hands and enjoy that of the bountiful blessings of legacy you put before me. I should have that of the right. I deserve that, do I not? You see, black men, I wonder this. Like when you say, well, my daddy was a hustler, a pimp, do you challenge that? If your daddy made some questionable choices, do you question it or do you turn a blind eye? Ladies, if your mother does some things that are out of order, that are wrong of other people, they're wrong other people, excuse me. Can you challenge that? Can you say, hey, mom, you're wrong for that? You abuse that. Now y'all want to know what is it that this man said, and I will grab it. I'll drop the link. Let me drop the link, and let's go ahead and let me get to it. I gotta go ahead and get into that of the paperwork brought before us. There we go. So as you can see, let me know if I'm Borgen or if I'm choppy or anything like that, right? So right now, there you have it. Romeo should be in his 30s. Master P is that of an aged man. Two well successful men. Over to the right is what Romeo, not little Romeo, has to say. We're gonna look at that. Hey, what's going on? How you doing, Angelica? All are welcome. I would like to know if you are a parent or you have a parent or anybody for you. I want your opinion on any of this. I would like to look at the conversation. This is Romeo. He has this to say. This is my last straw. Okay. Let me know if I'm choppy, if I'm breaking up. This is my last straw, Pops. Stop trying to play the victim. I love you so much that I followed you blindly for 30 plus years. You know, we talked behind closed doors. You aren't the man you paint to be. And why is it war? Because I refuse to follow your lead. You only want to protect your image, but the image isn't even real. And I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me, Pops. I'm truly a man of God. If you really, if you are really a man of God, then you will prevail in the end. Even when I share my truth, I try to keep things in house. You are the media, and unfortunately, use this app as therapy. 3K plus posts. See, and when the world find out about the finances outside of a gift or a car, I've never been paid. I've never been paid for anything I've accomplished as Little Romeo. Uncle C and Sick, no. You only pay outsiders rightfully so they'll speak good on your name. I'm at peace because I can now speak my truth and help others. Mom was always right. Your pride is everything. This is now coming out about that of Master P and Romeo. Respect and honor to that of the Art Nostalgia TV. That is an amazing channel If y'all ever want to get a good dialogue and see some amazing art made, check out Art Nostalgia TV. Let us get to see some of the comments real quick. If he can build a legacy his dad did with just 10 grand and none of the connections that he got thanks to his father, then maybe he's got a talking point. He's asking his father to step up as I don't asking much. Is this just human nature for the progression of the species or a natural cycle of accountability as men continue to grow in their manhood? As a parent, I question my own father. Thank you. So we get to look at that of what is going on. And I want y'all to actually be honest. Some say, well, if you do what the father has done, then you have a right to say what you're saying. Others say, hey, you have not been that of a just man. He first off went about saying, hey, I'm gonna look at fairly. Pop, stop trying to play the victim. I loved you so much that I followed you blindly for 30 plus years. You know, so let's start right there. I followed you blindly for 30 plus years. I'm going to say this. This is a thing that we do have an angst as in that of society or amongst us as men and women. Because you want to see the best and the brightest of your loved one. You choose to turn a blind eye from that of what your loved one have done. And we can't say this ain't true because we have loved ones that have stole, robbed, rapped some pretty outlandish lyrics. And I'm not going to say it's always been bad, but we have done things to build that of a foundation. Rick Ross has built an amazing foundation talking about selling kilos, talking about doing all sorts of stuff. Not saying that he's done it. Now he has a franchise of chicken and waffles. Different artists, different celebrities, different men and women of that of the diaspora community. I cannot judge you on how that of you built your legacy. I myself do not have clean hands. I tell that to my own children. As a father, I am not that of a clean and unjust man. I made a lot of decisions. And at the end of the day, I understand by any means necessary. And I can understand for some of those of y'all who are fathers, you too probably, possibly, have made those decisions. I can understand for those of you who are mothers, you probably done some things or cut some people, even to your own man, for that of your own survival of you and your child. It is an ugly nature that we have as that of humans. A survivability type of nature. See, I don't play that moral high ground. I don't play that scheme. I don't play that of the victim narrative that everybody's after me. But I understand that so too as I shot arrows everyone to hit my so tell true, they can shoot arrows back at me. I'm not above reproach. And again, you got to understand as a parent, sooner or later, your same children will come and approach you about that of your own needs. A mother that has had a child early, but then tries to chastise her daughter saying, hey, you out here in the streets. Well, so were you. That's why they say you shall reap what you sow. I don't like it that it's out here and open for P and his son to be out here. But Romeo is a man. Y'all forget that. Y'all keep that's not a child. That is a man talking to another man that is his father about that of the criteria of the fundamental building blocks upon which their family, the Millers, is built on. They do rap about that of dope, drugs, gang banging, prostitution, and a whole plethora of things, while in the next step, talk about that of the word of Jesus. In one of the most low-income, impoverished areas. So is it wrong for that of Romeo to challenge that of his father? If I, as a man, am riding in a nice coupe, got the nice flyers gear, but my daddy's out there selling dope and drugs, can I not say something about it? Or am I supposed to be quiet? I so do. That is so true. That was said right there in Black Panther by that of the former king to his son. He said it to him in afterlife. It's hard for a good man to be king. That shit hit so hard when I heard him say that thing. I, as a father, understood that because to be an honorable and just man of the home, you're going to cross that line. Your ass. See, I've heard these conversations. I've heard women get into it with their daughters and their sons. I've heard sons challenge their own fathers and mothers because they say, hey, you forget, I'm out there on the block selling, doing what I do. Y'all like eating off of me. I take care of this house. I'm the one that goddamn got granny's goddamn mortgage down. See, this is the thing when you build out of a shaky legacy. It can always come back to y'all. And y'all gotta be very mindful of this kind of thing. Romeo honestly said, I followed you blindly, father. But can you get mad if I challenge you? And yes, Master P does have a right to that of to step towards his son. That is his son. Negro, have you forgot what I did for you? Do you know where you would be at right now? You'd probably be out on the street with the rest of the boys running the streets. Your sister might end up being one of those bum-ass niggas. Sadly, God rest her soul, she's dead in the grave. One of Master P's daughters is dead. Out there drinking and doing drugs and stuff. I can't speak on their dynamic relationship, but there was a lot of stuff going on. Don't think because you hold a Bible in front of your kid's face and say, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. They don't know what the hell you be doing. See, that's a funny thing about when your ass hits that grave. Mm-hmm. When you hit that grave, whatever you did in the dark, so tell you, So shall come to the light. Excuse me. I didn't mean to mess that up. But whatever you do in the dark, it does come to the light. That's one thing you can't help. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all need to understand. When you hit that grave, it does come to the light. Y'all say, oh, only white people do that shit. Get out of here, because we can pull up that of little Scrappy. Scrappy did that. You have it where a lot of children are calling out that of the parents. And see, I find it interesting because y'all saying, well, how can you say something about that, BMT? You out of place. How am I out of place? I've questioned that of my mother, my father. I have not forgotten the lessons and tutors that they taught me, but I'm a man now. I have my own 2 wives. I have my own mind. I love you, mommy. I love you, daddy. I can never replace that love with things that you have done and entrusted in me. But 2, I want you to understand, I can challenge that of the doctrine that you have put before me. Don't give me the bullshit of blind fealty of loyalty. You my leader? Well, guess what? Let me bring forth what your works are, and let me study for thy self-approval. Can't say nothing about that. You know, we talk behind closed doors. You aren't the man you paint yourself to be. And why is that? And why is it war? Sugar Ray. Y'all remember Sugar Ray, right? The boxer. Everybody felt some type of way when Sugar Ray's children said, Daddy was a good man to all of the community. Oh, he was a daddy for the community. But he was a failed father in the home. Mind you, Sugar Ray had the meanest punch, one of the hardest punches in boxing history. Really mean. Put millions in his family's goddamn table. But Sugar Ray wasn't a good father. He wasn't. And this is not me. That's the thing about it. We have to understand that when we're doing that of work, trying to build that of fundamental blocks, sometimes we lose that of connectivity towards that of what matters most. Can P question that of his son? And challenge say, well, who are you to challenge me? I can honestly say, is P playing a victim? I don't want to say he is. But it's hard being a just man when everybody wants something from you. This is true. We have seen a lot of people, P, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, you didn't put me on, you didn't do X, Y, and Z. Son. What you doing? Would you like to have a conversation with me? Sure. Pull up a chair. Sit. You have that right. Now make sure you speak loud. Okay. Do you think I've always been a just father to you? Mm-hmm. Do you think I could do better?
At times, yes, but mostly to me, it's no.
I want you to understand, I'm not telling him what to feel, because he is his own human being. He's his own human being. So we have a story. Close the door. Sure. Close the door. All right. Go. Make sure you speak loud. So So we have a story right now of Master P, the rapper,
Mhm.
and Romeo. Now, Romeo has a problem with the way his father built his legacy. I remember you questioned me about the stuff that I do, firearms, military, certain things that I do.
Yeah.
I want you to understand this is that of a dynamic that a father and a son at some point will cross those bridges, possibly. Now, I'm not immune or above that of reproach. Okay, I'm not above that. I don't. I want you to understand this is reality. And what's problematic is that we have it in our mind that I'm hearing people saying, "Well, if my son or daughter question me, they're not my child no more. Then you're weak. You're a fool because you just follow blindly. You just an obedient dog. If I do something wrong, what did I tell y'all?
We pick up after the family. If you do something wrong, if you were sick, we gotta help you stand up on your feet.
And I hear that. If I'm sick or unjust, it's for them to pick me back up. And they have done that. I've had my moments. And yes, he was afraid. He's been afraid. But he has not been wrong if he says, Dad, how you spoke or how you maneuvered. And I could say, yes, this is my house. But he said, am I not your son? Should I not be allowed to go to you, to speak to you? See, this is the thing that we have where we lose that dynamic as parents and children. I am the authoritative figure. It is my legacy. He is my legacy. He belongs to me. However, he can speak that of his heart. See, we tend not to listen to that of the heart of those around us. You understand, at some point, I'm going to get old and decrepit. And how I too treated them, it will come back to me full force. A lot of y'all don't ever think about that. Y'all can talk all this jibber jabber. When your ass get old, see, you got to wonder who's going to sit there right by you and deal with you. A lot of y'all do not do that. What's up?
It's either your son or it's either a caretaker. Because remember, do you remember that grandma had?
Mm-hmm.
He got frustrated with grandma, and I think that was like someone's son. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And he was hated for many stuff. He was drinking too much, smoking, and that's why his family dropped him off to grandma.
Mm. See, my son watched that. I want you to understand that. My son watched because we take care of elderly people. We have an elderly care business. And so my son gets to watch that of elderly men and how they get dropped off and left. Oh, yeah, it happens all the time, just like kids. Elderly people, men, get dropped off at these daycares or at these facilities. Their sons never come back to get them. Daughters stop answering the phone. And then I'll come in with a paper.
Questioning what's happening.
And I'll question them. Yep.
What goes on their home.
And I'll wheel their wheelchair up to me. And I'll sit down with them. And I'll let them know nobody's coming. Yeah, they are. Nobody's coming. You're all alone. And I'll talk to them. I might give them a bottle of water because I get tired of them throwing glasses at the wall and me, you know. But I'll tell them nobody's coming. This is it. and I'll leave them in that room while they cry, call on God or whatever they want to believe in, to think that somebody's gonna come get them. They cry all night, screaming and hollering, cry themselves to sleep, stop eating, not want to use the bathroom or anything. Just acting just for a phone, just to hear somebody. But I said when you had the chance to hear them, you didn't want to hear them.
Moments later on, you pass on.
And they usually pass on with a dying heart. You know how many elderly people my son and I have buried? Oh, I buried quite a few. Especially a lot of you men. Quite a few of y'all. The legacy game is it's a very intricate delicacy of a weaving womb. Don't worry, women. I see it happen to y'all too. Don't think y'all exempt. I had one woman, I just held her and patted her on the head. I said, I gotta go. She said, will you just stay with me and talk with me? No. Time for talk is over. It's bedtime. Let's go ahead and read these things. What's going on, Shannon B? Okay, let's see. I know a few high earners that complain about this very issue of detachment of their loved ones. Most of them work in the STEM fields. Very true. But to progress righteously, one must question in order not to repeat previous offenses. The question then becomes, what are we doing X for? If X takes us so far away from the people that makes us whole, the people that give us the drive to do the thing. The STEM tech field may be due to responsibilities of positions. It all becomes to management of the now versus the responsibility of the later. Very true. That was a very good true statement. Don't know that one. My kids were not my initial drive. I had to have the drive in order to get a family. I just can't kill off that off in me. That is true. A lot of people, a lot of men and women have children. Initially, they're not the drive. They're not the force of why they do what they do. It has to be something that you put in you, that you want in you to actually want to do. You can have people that have children and they see that, man, this is when you start seeing the ladder of where the child starts taking care of that of the adult. Okay. I have a habit of I don't eat when I'm supposed to eat. I overwork myself and I forget to eat. My son checks on me to make sure I eat. I sustain myself because I work more than I work so much I don't eat. I'll go a whole day or two without eating. They have to check on me. That's just how I am now. However, sometimes they have to knock and say, hey, we're here. That work will always be there. But we won't. Y'all gotta understand that, man. Like this, it gets deep, man. That's why I want my son to be here because I don't want to sugarcoat y'all and think that I'm playing this game with y'all. But see, some of y'all can't do that. Some people can't do that. Some people can't have a holistic conversation with their sins and actually look them in the eye and say, was I a just man? Was I a virtuous woman? See, I can handle what he feels about me. Okay? Peace with that. I don't try to play that of, well, you don't like what is and that. Yeah, I've said that. But it doesn't mean that what he said wasn't true. I can always put a checkmate, well, y'all get out. And I've said that. Have I not said things like that?
Yeah.
But does that make it what you said wasn't true? Yes. You did say something true. And it did hurt. That's why I went in defensive mode. It's natural. You're in defensive mode because you're trying to protect psychologically that of yourself of what you did to harm those around you. Because you will want to say, well, it's not what I did that painted that of what you have today.
But that this means that the people that are on here like listening right now, they're not aware what they actually do. They're not aware of what self control they have.
Mm.
Their defensive state. They're not aware of what goes on at school. They're probably not aware of what actually happens when it comes to grades.
Mm-hmm. My mind is just friend and family, so it's biased when I speak sometimes. It is true. That's fine. That's fine. I'm some people are naturally in that of a mind frame. See, you have those who are in a mind frame of, yeah, I have a family. I might have a wife or a husband. I have kids, but I'm still in self-contained self-assessment mode. Versus those who have a family and they put that of the latter first. They put that of what's before them first. They put that of he will eat before I eat. Did you put on lotion?
Yeah.
Did you make sure you wash up?
Yes.
Did you do everything I do? How often do I sit down with y'all and ask y'all these questions?
24/7.
24/7. Because my mind is no longer on me anymore. And sometimes we have to think differently. Now, let me go. Also, respect to that of the honorable brother Rob. I don't mind my sons ask questions. They cannot question me, though. I'm just saying. That's respect. I can understand that. You don't mind your. You know the thing about it is, I've done that too. From what place does the question come from? From what is the intent? And from what standpoint of ground do you have to stand on? That's something that we do. It happens to men and women. They die alone. No one comes to take care of them. Depends on how they treat their children. I appreciate how you brought your son into this conversation, Beander. Thank you, dear. If you need a sitter, thank you. One of the things about it is, and we look at it from that as the perspective of and Brother Rob brought up a good point. My children, they can question me, but to that, what level degree of knowledge do they have? Now, I'm one of those type of parents that listen, when I say let's go, where? Why? Where are we going? Shut up. You get in the car. I'm the parent. I ain't playing this game with you. I don't play those games. I don't play them. I don't do that entertainment thing where you question me every step of the way. Like, hell no. We don't play them. I don't do that. Whenever you ask me a question, I usually tell the child, shut up. Be quiet. It ain't like you putting gas in the vehicle.
No, just driving the car.
It ain't like, exactly. It ain't like y'all driving the car.
I just don't tell them because guess what? Do you pay the bills? Do you pay everything? No.
Exactly.
It depends on the parent.
Exactly.
The parent just can't simply cancel it.
Yeah. See, that's the thing about it. That's the authoritative role we have as parents. I don't play games where we're equal on that ground. I'm the parent. That's the child. When I say something, I don't play that. Well, mom, dad, what? Blah, 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 blah. What are we talking about? What are we talking? Yes, love. Okay. Hang on. Hang on, Karen. Y'all want grocery shopping?
We watched you some. He watched you some Oreos.
He brought me some Oreos.
Yep, some birthday Oreos.
Birthday Oreos.
Mm-hmm.
It's the normal as you.
Thank you. So there's certain levels of how far I go with this questioning thing and this kind of disrespect. There's a lines of questioning of Dad, I want to ask you a question, why, or certain stuff because you're curious. Child wants to know. I asked my dad one time, I said, Dad, do I have any brothers or sisters? Was I wrong for asking that question? No. Mommy, Why'd you marry dad? What's wrong for that? Mom, why do you do these things? Why do you do that? I'm not saying that I didn't get a scowl or a look, but I did ask. Because a child, not you gonna ask. Hold on. But the same thing of, when we start doing stuff like, Dad, why are you doing such a whoa. Hold up. Parent, child, you serve me, but I provided for you. I provide for you in service so that way you can be an abundance to that of the family, which I make. It's a cycle. We have that understanding, do we not? Do we not, son?
Yes, sir.
So I make sure that this one and all the rest of them have. But when I say, hey, I want a drink, food, medicine, whatever I ask for, will be done. I have to live. I have to live in order. I have to live. I don't need all that crazy dumb shit that these weirdos be saying online and shit. I don't live in that. My house is provided with that of love, an abundance of integrity. I'm not going to say that I've always been right. When you answer me, how do you answer to me?
Respectfully.
Respectfully. Not no yeah, no. Who the hell is that? I'm a man. I'm the father.
It's the yes sir or no sir.
I don't play any other way. Now, I can understand why if Master P feels the way he feels about that of how Romeo went about doing this. Because that should have never been, I ain't lie. That should have been nothing. I'm like, Romeo, we don't do this. This thing right here where you jumping online and stuff and all stuff. See, that I don't agree with. I don't agree because at the end of the day, the family banner, the family emblem, no one is above that. No man, no woman is above that of the mass. You are but one grain of sand. You don't come above that. You honor that. You honor me. As I sacrifice to give honor to y'all. Now, Romeo, what you doing? I don't approve of. Saying this is the last straw. Who the hell are you? Who are you, Romeo? You don't have that right to challenge your father like that. Now, that right there, saying this is the last straw. First of all, that's how you cut your blessings off. Telling your father this is the last straw, as if you bore him into the world. I would be like, well, damn, you must have been changing my drawers or some stuff. Where are we doing this at? And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, for some of y'all men and women, y'all, I do see the way how y'all be coming at y'all mothers and fathers. My dad ain't too old where he can't draw blood from my mouth. Some of y'all carry too much vitriol on y'all parents. Y'all blame them for stuff that was that of beyond your understanding. Dad, why'd you do that? Why'd you do this? What? Hold on, nigga. It's either that or your ass would have been on the streets. Mama, why are you out there laying down with that man he wasn't a good man? Well, guess what? Put your ass through, got your tuition paid, did it not? Little girl, what the fuck were you going to do for me? How you think you're here in your nails? See, I don't have that kind of energy to always want to judge for that of some of the things that some parents know. Y'all, I know. See, we like to Monday night quarterback a lot of adults We don't understand that or what they did. There's so many adults that have contempt for their parents, and it still affects them. A lot of times they keep their contempt unspoken, but it comes out in their behaviors towards their parents and others. True. Very true. This is why you're seeing people's relationship the way it is now and broken. Yep. Because the way how they got it for their parents, they take it out on other people or try to build a relationship off of that. As one of those adults, the contempt is real, but also the mirror of experience and a questioning mind changes the contempt of understanding. I find that mostly present in relationships. I find that it's mostly present in relationships. Not sure if you agree. BT, tell your son I'm a Tokyo Ghoul fan also. So I guess you got him blushing. I agree. My spouse tells me that all the time. What's your thoughts, man?
I'm not sure because it depends on what happens in the home family service.
Well, tell me this. I want you to read this, and you tell me your thoughts on this one. Tell me your thoughts on this one. Read this right here.
I know we talk behind closed doors. You ain't
Speak
gonna.
up.
All right. This is my last straw, Pops. Stop playing the victim. I loved you so much. I followed you blindly for 30 years.
Speak loudly. Come on, you got this.
I know you talk behind closed doors. You aren't the man paid to be. And why is it war? Because you refuse to follow your lead. So, based on the first paragraph, that just shows that he doesn't really care about his father. He talked behind him, and he probably talked about him too. But that just shows that he probably doesn't, service him like he wanted to. And he pretty much really just hated him. If he got in trouble.
Now he asks about this about the playing victim role and following blindly. We talk behind closed doors. Me, you have talked behind closed doors. I talk behind closed doors with a lot of y'all, a lot of your brothers and y'all. I talk behind closed doors. You aren't the man who you paint to be, and why is it war? Now you brought that up that they talk behind on each other.
Yeah.
That was pretty accurate. So they talk behind on each other. This is true. You know, y'all may say things about me, and I say things about y'all of how we feel, rather than we possibly actually direct it respectfully to each other. Can we agree on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, what's your thoughts on you only want to protect your image, but the image isn't real, and I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me, pops. What's your thoughts on that?
So, let's say this. If you wanted to, protect your own self, you didn't care about them. You want to just show that you're happy, that self-healthy family. So let's say this. You, the person that were in the military,
Mhm.
you had the family, was married to a woman that was supporting the military service, the money that you wanted to have. And you needed us to support the funding, the payments, all the other stuff.
Damn, you getting deep. Go ahead.
But the only thing is, that's trying to cover up your photo image.
Ooh.
But that's helping. It's not helping your background though. That's not showing who you were supposed to be. That's not who you are and stuff. I think that most people don't even talk about that. But the image isn't even real. So that just means that your full background, your whole image, is not even progressing as it should be. So.
Okay. So what my son just told me, and this is very true. Excuse me. A lot of dudes in the military, they get a wife and they impregnate her or get a baby, right? But they actually didn't do it. They actually didn't do it for that. They actually wanted a family. They actually did that so that way they can get a check, right?
Yeah.
They just did it for the money. They never cared about actually that of um having a whole family. They only just wanted to have that of this is me. I have a wife and kids, and I just want the money. Same thing as a woman who might get a man and children, but they just wanted to show. They didn't really care for that. What actually the responsibility that it entailed. They just wanted to say, "This is my trophy family." So that's very accurate on what he says. Um, it sounds like it's a poisoned mind against the father. Mm, mm. Go ahead. And I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me. I'm truly a man of God. You are really, if you're really a man of God, then you will prevail in the end. Even when I share my truth, I try to keep things in house. You are addicted to social media and unfortunately use this app as therapy. Now,
That's a bad thing
that is a bad thing.
because you're saying you don't feel. I don't need anyone to make me feel sorry for you. That's a bad thing because that means you really don't even try to get out of the house. That just means you're only by yourself with your family. That just shows that you probably don't talk to them the way that you should be, like father to son, and and son to father. That should not be the issue. It should be with the mother. Should be stepping in, helping you like figure out the stuff instead. It should be only just y'all two trying to figure out something.
I'm looking at it as to now. Here's what I question about the son. Just throwing the God in the mix. I'm truly a man of God. Now, if you're a man of God, they say that in the Bible, and I can pull it up. Okay, they said this in the Bible. Now, I want to show y'all where Romeo messed up. And this is so true. Okay, I want y'all to um this is something that it happens a lot. I don't agree with. It says this in the Bible about whenever you want to confront somebody, it's and it has a lot of stuff about that whenever you want to confront somebody, and I'm gonna pull up the scripture that you actually don't do it openly because it causes a whole assortment of issues. If actually you have an art with someone, you're supposed to pull them aside and bring forth one witness, somebody like a mediator. So if I have an issue, I would say I would grab Brother Speak or Angelica or what I'm saying, no one, and they would be that one person stand in to mediate, while me and the other person have a discussion and dialogue to break it down the issue of what we have going on. Now, in doing this, that's how it should be done. They probably should have gone to either therapy, not on TV, or they probably should have gone somewhere to the side and have a conversation. They probably wouldn't be able to work it out overnight, but it would have been something that they could have handled. If I have a situation, this is not something we going online to talk about my son. We're gonna have to hash this out behind closed doors. It's not gonna be something I do it on the camera. No, it's gonna be something that we do behind closed doors. So that way, ain't nobody can have anything else to say. It's between us. Nobody's pride. And this is why I don't like it when y'all have those little beef channels or let's get on panels and let's hash it out. Or if you got a problem with somebody, you need to talk about it. Get the beef out of the way. Like, who the hell are y'all? Nobody. Y'all ain't nobody. I would never have if I have a problem with him. I'm not gonna get online and do it in front of a bunch of strangers. Because that's also his emotion and my emotion online. That's when you know you're dealing with dogmatic people. Because they want to watch that of the initial pain and suffering of two people. Well, if you're a real man, you will say it in front of everybody. No, that's not how real men do things. Real men handle stuff behind closed doors. Well, I'm out here in public. You know why you do that? Because you want to put them in that of a stalemate. And see, that's something why I challenge that on Romeo. That's not a godly thing. That's that BS stuff. I think Romeo did that best way to get the Gen X attention is social media. You know, I hear you with that, Shannon B. I get you. But now you brought attention because understand this. Romeo and Pete and Master P, one of their brands of business is family. It's family. And when you're showing that your family has cracks or problems and you're putting it out there openly, then you lose investors. You lose people that actually want to prominently deal with you. See, this is where you'll never hear the Walton family, over Walmart, the daughter and the brother. You don't hear them online talking about how they have issues. You're never going to hear them talk about that. You don't hear some people. You will never know what they got going on. You know why? Because they don't bring it to the forefront. They handle it behind closed doors. It's wrong, but that's just what I believe. No, you have a right to believe that. That's why if I have an art with somebody, I kind of taught him that behind closed doors, and I have. Because then you gotta understand, y'all made y'all brand off of that of family. Romeo and Pop, all them commercial shows, TV shows, and all that stuff. Y'all should have kept that behind that of closed doors, Romeo. But Master P, you can't keep on dodging that of your son. We had another person, highly medicated medication club podcast. But again, who's to say how many times he has come to his father? True, behind closed doors with his concerns and the issues of his father, just brushed him off and completely numerous times. And see, that's why I can't too much like. If the only way Romeo can reach his father is by outing him openly on that of the thing that he runs towards, then hey, so be it. Romeo must live with that, and P, understand, you push your son into that. I know fathers that chose the streets over their son, but then get mad when they see their son out there gangbanging in the streets. Well, Dad, you chose the streets as your family rather than me. So I wanted to see what it was about. Where women try to tell their daughters on how to be that of a righteous woman. But then after that, they look at, well, damn girl, you got one boyfriend or one baby daddy or this and that. Well, hold on, mama. Let's look at player what you had going on. You stay with a whole man that fucked you up. And now you want to talk about that of what a family should look like. I don't know. I may got a boyfriend or a baby daddy. But ain't no nigga going upside my head like you. This happens. This happens a lot. Anything going on? Want to add on anything?
We go back to where
we got one thing that says, and when the world finds out about the finances outside of a gift of a car, I've never been paid for anything. I've accomplished as Little Romeo. What's your thoughts on that?
Let's see. So where it says when the world find out about the finances outside of a gift or a car, I have never been paid for anything. Never means you haven't accomplished a thing at all.
Well,
Like been paid. So say if you've been just at work, right? You've been there for a good, let's see, 3 years, and it says never. Never would mean they forgot about you. They didn't care how much you did. They didn't care about the effort you put in. They just cared about, are you doing your job right? Or they just cared about how about the services, stuff is going good. They just cared about their boss. That's all they really cared about.
now his boss is his father,
Mm-hmm.
and he never got it. His dad never gave him any money. His dad got all the checks. His dad was his manager. You think his dad should pay him?
Yeah, a little bit. Because that could have mean he could have got something for him. Some way, if he pays him back, he could have got something for him.
But what if I'm taking the money and investing it in your future?
He still could have got him something. Like, he could have got himself some books to read.
I can understand. Well,
Because because books are real good for studying too.
well, his son's pretty successful. His son's pretty successful. I get what you're saying. That yes, Master P should have paid his son, even but giving him a stipend. Put some money aside and pay his son. Now, a lot of y'all saying, well, his father is his manager, but still, that's also somebody out there doing the work in the studio, busting his ass. I gotta be for real, man. I gotta be for real. To me, I know this sounds controversial. Little Romeo was way more hotter than Master P. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I know a lot more Little Romeo songs. Seen them out there doing a lot of stuff. Had a TV show on Nickelodeon. Little Romeo did a lot of stuff. Y'all can't take that from that man. TV show. I think he even did a movie. Had music out there. Yes, that is fair to say. Master P made a lot of money off his boy. Master P made a lot of money off his son. Y'all can't take that from Little Romeo now. Little Romeo did a lot of stuff. I remember watching the Little Romeo show. I remember, Little Romeo show, the music, the movies, and all the stuff. P did make quite a few bags off his son. So I understand when my son said, yo, you could have broke your son off something. Well, that's his daddy. No, because we always hear about these child stars saying, yo, my mom and dad took my money. They did this. They spent that. Britney Spears, Aaron Carter, what's the girl from Cat, Sam and Cat? Like a lot of these parents, they put their stuff, they use the excuse of, well, it's my child. I know how to manage their money.
No.
And sometimes I gotta be for real, Master P, a lot of your kingdom that is built was off of that of your son. So in a sense, he does have right to start taking at some of the blocks. Yeah, I agree with that. Parents do get shady when money is involved. You can't take that away from Master P. Like a lot of people in your business did come at you about that. And I agree. My son said, hey, you could have gave him something. You could have put his money aside. So that way, it is what it is. So, yeah, you can say, well, I was doing this and helping us build this and that. But don't forget, you got a gold elevator in your house. You were getting them checks from Nickelodeon and all them other places while Little Romeo was out there wearing all them baggy clothes, doing X, Y, and Z. Have them little girls screaming for him, because I mean, you wasn't in that type of field, Master P. A lot of your people are either getting shot, dead, on drugs. Little Romeo's career was still going.
And guess what? This is the new generation, so the old generation is way different than it used to be.
Right. Oh yeah.
And some of those people can't even keep up with what's going on.
So, it's one thing where, sometimes they need to have a conversation, man. He said you only paid outsiders, so that way they would speak good on you. But you didn't pay the people that were close to you. And sometimes we have a problem with that we take advantage of people that are close to us rather than actually look out for them. I can now speak my truth and help others. Mom always, your pride is everything. Now, agree with that. I don't agree with that. That right there, Romeo, you didn't have to do. This was a conversation between you and your father. Adding your mom into that doesn't do nothing.
It just made the whole situation worse because he's not gonna get out to her too.
Because you didn't have to add your mom. Like if I have me and my son have a conversation of an issue, that's something between me and him. We don't need to add his mother into our stuff. This is between the lion and the cub. Lionesses don't have nothing to do with that. Most lionesses don't get involved when the lion and the younger lions are right now tussling around. They just sit there and everybody sit back. Let these two have it. Unless it gets too out of hand, they fall back out of it. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, but I will say this. Romeo, I know it was right for her to call her your mom in the situation because now she's pretty much in a tough position where the father can get after her at any given time.
He will. He's gonna go after her too.
Because that means you've been talking behind her back, and he's been talking behind your back because of the mom. So they've been both basically just giving her an equal amount of information. Even the money situation. He's been all get all the money, and guess what? That would mean he doesn't even have like enough share, and he's probably been wearing the same clothes ever since he was even younger.
I don't think he's wearing the same clothes, son. I don't think he's wearing the same clothes. But
his dad watched him.
I think his dad probably could have done it better. I think they could probably have. You think they could fix the situation?
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. Well, we'll see you guys later. I thank my son for giving me some of the time out of his day to do the show. We'll see you guys later. I'm BMT. This is BD Jr. Peace.